everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video we have my Feel Unique Pick and Mix samples unboxing. This is a video that I do every month now, and if you haven't seen previous videos and are not sure how it works, let me just quickly explain. This is a service offered by the website Feel Unique, and once a month you can log on to their website and browse through a selection of different samples, be it skincare, hair care, perfume samples and makeup, and you can select 5 samples. This is something that you can do on a monthly basis, but it isn't a subscription. Say for example you pick your samples on the 15th of the month, you will then be allowed to pick more samples on the 15th of the following month. This is technically a free service. You do just have to pay shipping costs, which is £3.95, but you do get a gift voucher in reimbursement of your £3.95 on the email that confirms dispatch of your samples. Great way to try different things, sometimes try high-end things that you may not necessarily want to just go outright and purchase. You can then get them through the service and give them a go before you make your decision whether to purchase or not. With regards to the £3.95 gift card, you don't have to spend it on the full size of the samples you've chosen. You can use it against anything on the website. For example, I've just used the £3.95 voucher that I got with these samples to take a bit of money off a blush that I'm buying my mum for Christmas because she wanted a Clinique blush, so something like that. It's quite expensive, so just take a few pounds off it and kind of help me towards my Christmas spending. So what I will do first of all is I will go over the samples that I chose last month, and I've now had the chance to test them all so I can let you know my thoughts, and then I will go through and show you the samples that I've chosen for this month. I was hoping to have this video up potentially last week, but when I got my notification that I could choose my samples for this month, there wasn't any that I wanted, to be honest, and it was either going to mean picking samples that I'd had before or just ones that I didn't really want to try and would be picking them for the sake of it, or perfume samples, which I don't really like to get. So I decided to hold out for a few days and see what came about, and in the end I did pick quite a few items that I do really want to try. My package was also delayed by a couple of days getting to me, so it was supposed to go up on Wednesday. Now it's going to be my Friday video, so happy Friday. So let's get into the samples from last month. The first one I chose was this NARS blush, and this is in the shade Orgasm. This isn't the first time that I have tried this blush. I did get, I think, an exact sample like this probably from Feel Unique, but I'm going back a good few years at this point, and I wanted to sort of refresh my memory as to whether I liked it or not. When it did arrive, I did see a bit of kind of shimmer to it, which I didn't remember there being last time. There probably was, I just obviously didn't remember it. And I am more of a matte blush kind of person. I'm not overly into shimmery blushes. I think back when I did try it a few years ago, I think I probably was, but that is well before I'd kind of hit a highlighter, so I didn't mind it too much, whereas now I like a matte blush and a highlighter. So I'm glad that I got to try it again, and it has meant that I would not purchase the full size because it's just not my personal preference at this moment in time. Formula wise, it is a really nice blush. It does go on really nicely and blends really well. It is also nicely buildable. It's not too overly pigmented, but you can build up to quite a pigmented look if you want, but obviously the more pigment, the more kind of shimmer and sheen you tend to get. It lasted a decent amount of time, probably no more than my kind of Tarte blushes that I use. They probably do last a little bit longer. I didn't notice any kind of shimmer shifting over my face and it being anywhere else other than where I applied the blush, which is good, but I say it's just not for me personal preference wise for this moment in time. Then I tried this Clarins Comfort Scrub, and this is another one that wasn't really for me. I wasn't a massive fan of the consistency of it. I didn't find that it was overly exfoliating, and it was just an okay product. I definitely wouldn't consider going out and purchasing the full size of this one, but again, it was nice to be able to have tried it. Then we had this by Terry Hyaluronic Hydra Primer. I quite like this primer. It did feel like it was nicely hydrating my skin. It did make my foundation sit that little bit nicer on it. I tried it with a matte foundation this month because I had paired it with a hydrating foundation previously, and it worked just as well with the matte foundation as it did the hydrating one. I feel like it did just give me a really good base to start with. You don't need too much of an amount of product, which is good because I didn't get a lot in here. I think this was 5 grams. So there was enough in here for me to be able to try it on multiple occasions. I think I probably used this 4 or 5 times, and I still think I've probably got a fair amount of uses in here because a little does go a long way, which is good. It is quite a pricey product, and I wouldn't say I prefer it to any of the other primers that I've tried. My favourite is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, and I do prefer that one. This didn't have any kind of pore filling elements to it, whereas the Smashbox one is a bit pore filling, but also I do find that hydrates my skin too. So it's definitely not one that's going to replace my favourite, but it is one that was nice to try, and I'm definitely going to enjoy using the rest of this up. Next we have something from Perricone MD, and this is the High Potency Classics Face Firming Serum. This was an okay product. It had a bit of a strong scent to it, which I wasn't a massive fan of. I also did find that it did sting my skin slightly, not in a painful way, but more in a kind of tingly sting. It didn't hang around, it did only do it on the initial application, and after a few minutes it did fade. I don't know if it was just kind of working its magic. I've only reached for this probably about 4 or 5 times, so probably not enough to get a true representation of the firming aspects of it. This was a decent sized sample in that it is 7.5ml, so I definitely do have enough uses in here to be able to fully test it out. It's just the stinging and the smell kind of put me off reaching for it. I was going back into my old favourite serums and I didn't enjoy reaching for this one. This is again a rather pricey product. I think this was somewhere in the £70 range. I didn't notice enough in the few uses that I did to be able to say yes, definitely go out there and splurge on it. I don't know whether I'm going to use the rest of this. I'm going to see, because I do kind of have sensitive skin, and surely it tingling isn't necessarily a good thing. I don't know. I didn't think at the time to kind of have a look online and see if anyone else has had tingling with it, and because you don't get much information with it, I do need to definitely look into that further. So this one was just okay, not one I can recommend, especially for the price of it. And then the final product we had was from Huda Beauty, and this was a selection of their Demi Matte lip colours, and this was the one that I was most excited to try. Here we have 15 different shades of the Demi Matte formula. I have actually only tried 3 of them. The reason being, it was kind of folded flat. It ended up going down the side of my drawer and I just completely forgot about it and didn't reach for it until about halfway through the month. So I've only tried 3 of the shades, them being Shiro, Shio and Mogul up here. Mogul is the one that I have on my lips now, and it is a really nice shade. It is very similar to Shio here, it's just slightly more orange tone. This first one that I tried here, Shiro, I'm getting a bit tongue-tied with the similar names, that was definitely more of an orange toned nude. I did really like the shades, I did really like the formula as well. It is super comfortable, it doesn't feel like you're wearing anything at all. I did notice with the shade Shio that it was a bit more obvious when it wore off, especially on the inner part of my lip. It did get that kind of line, but I didn't notice that with the other 2 shades. So they did wear off quite nicely, they did wear off subtly in that you didn't notice it, but it is 3 very neutral shades that I've picked. But I'm definitely excited to work my way through more of these shades to try them, because I definitely would consider purchasing a full size of these. But when I first got these, I wasn't sure how I was actually going to apply them because I don't have any lip brushes. My plan originally was to kind of wash off a doe foot in one of my finished off liquid lipsticks, but when I went to the Glamour Beauty event and went to the actual Huda stand, they were applying lipsticks on people using disposable doe foot applicators, and I explained to the girl doing my makeup that I did have this, and she knew exactly what it was I was talking about, so she gave me a handful of their disposable doe foot, which was great because it's now meant as well. I've been able to use a different one for each shade just so I don't get the shades mixed up. So I think I should have enough there from what she gave me to go through all the shades that I want to, but each shade I am getting 2 uses out of. The second use I am having to really scrape it. Let me show you this first one that I used, which was Shiro. There probably is still a little bit there. I maybe could have gone for a slightly thicker layer on my second application, but I don't think it's enough to get a third one out of there. But I think for me, being able to try a shade twice, I think that's enough for me to be able to gauge whether I like that shade or not. There are a couple in here that I would probably just be trying for the sake of it, so it might be a waste for me to try them. I might just rip them out because they are little to and from cards, little perforated edges, so I thought it might be quite nice to possibly throw into like a future giveaway or something like that for someone else to try. but from what I've tried, I would definitely recommend the formula. I do prefer it comfort wise to their original liquid lipsticks. I'm so glad that I got to try them. So that's the products that I tried from last month. Even though I wasn't a massive fan of the rest of the products, I think the fact that those Huda Beauty, I would have paid £3.95 to try all them, to be honest. So I was very happy with my purchase from last month, and I think overall it was a high value month. Looking at my figures for this month, I don't think it's as high of a value, but there are things in here that I do legitimately want to try, so I don't mind too much. The first thing I picked was this Mane and Tail shampoo and conditioner duo. This is the deep moisturising one. I've heard good things about this shampoo and conditioner, because I do have thick hair. That's what I've heard it's really good for, and I haven't used a deep moisturising shampoo for a while. Plus I could probably do with changing up my shampoo, because I find my hair does get used to my shampoo and conditioner and it doesn't seem to stay as clean or as soft or as frizz-free for long. So I'm hoping this does work for me, because if I did want to purchase the full size, they're not too expensive. So the full size of these are 355 millilitres each, being the shampoo and the conditioner, and they both retail for £6.99. These are two 10ml samples, which I work out are roughly 20 pence each, so a total of 40 pence for this sample. Next we have this product by Clarins. This is the Remove Purifying Cleansing Gel. Out of all of the ones that they had from this My Clarins range, I think this is the only one that I hadn't tried. I think this is more of a face wash than a kind of micellar water. Let me have a look at what it says. A foaming cleansing gel to effectively remove impurities and excess oil. So yeah, I think it's just a general face wash. This one is a 5ml sample, so I should get a good few uses out of this to decide whether I like it or not. The full size of this is 125ml for £17, so I work out that this 5ml sample comes to 68 pence. Next we have this item by Mustela, I think it is, and this is a no rinse cleansing water. The reason why this one first jumped out at me was because I seen it was a 50ml sample. Looking at it, it doesn't look 50ml, I would say it's more 30ml, but it does say 50ml on the bottle. And I hadn't realised what it was. I just seen that it said no rinse cleansing water. It wasn't till I went back in to work out the prices of things before my items arrived that I realised it was a baby product. It's suitable for the face and diaper area, so obviously it is aimed at babies and newborns and things, but I probably will be able to test this out on my daughter. She is nearly 3.5, but she can have quite sensitive skin. She does get patches of eczema and things, so I thought it might be quite handy to try this, maybe instead of using a baby wipe on her face if her face is a bit dirty, to just kind of put this on a cotton pad and wipe off whatever she has on her face, which is a daily occurrence, for a change, just to see how her skin reacts to it. I would be tempted to probably try it on myself as well, just to see how gentle it is and things. But this is one I'm definitely intrigued to try, even though it's not what I thought it was. But I've never heard of the brand Mustela. I presume it comes from America. I presume it's something linked to America, with them saying diaper because we say nappy. Although it does say made in France. I thought French people said nappy too, but obviously not. So I'll say this is a 50ml sample, so I should definitely get quite a bit of use out of this. The full size of this is 300ml for £7.99, so I work out that this 50ml sample is £1.39. Next we have this sample of a Barry M product. I've never seen a Barry M product in the sample selection before, so this did immediately jump out at me. It does say it's new and it's something that I'm really keen to try. It looks like Barry M now do skincare. I've been a huge fan of Barry M for years. I've always used their nail varnishes. It is probably one of my go-to nail varnishes, and I've tried numerous amounts of their makeup products over the years, and they are a great affordable brand. I do think they are only available in the UK, but I say they are really reasonable, and if they've got great skincare as well, I'll be keen to give that a go. So this is the Pixie Skin Blurring Beauty Elixir, and it does have a little blurb on the back about it. It says it reduces the appearance of pores, imperfections and fine lines. Smoothing serum can be used for all skin types for a seamless airbrushed finish. Use on its own to mattify skin, blur imperfections and even skin tone, or apply under makeup for a matte, even base and prolonged makeup wear. It's got aloe vera, vitamin E, hyaluronic acid, glycerin and cucumber extract. I'm hoping it doesn't smell too strongly of cucumber, although it does have a big picture of a cucumber there. I'm not a huge fan of the scent of cucumber, but it is a 4.5ml sample, so hopefully I should get a good few uses out of this. I don't like things like this that are in a sachet though, that's the only issue, because it does feel like it is quite watery. So this is probably going to be one that I'm going to have to store upright or try and clamp shut in some way so it doesn't leak everywhere. So the full size of this is 15ml for £7.99. This is a 4.5ml sample, so I worked this out to be £2.40. On to the last product, and this is one that I think I was very lucky to get, and this is from the brand Glam Glow. It is the cutest little pot, and this is their Moisture Trip Omega Rich Moisturiser. When I logged on the next day after ordering to work out all the values of things, I didn't see this on the list anymore. I didn't actually see this either, so I think these were literally on there for a day, so I was very lucky to get both of them. I've tried a few things from Glam Glow over the years and I've liked a lot of their things. They are just quite a pricey brand, so I've never bit the bullet and purchased anything full size. I did pick up a sample of something when I was at the Glamour Beauty Festival, but I think it was a mask rather than a moisturiser. But I do think it was this kind of colour, so I don't know if it was from the same range. But I'm really keen to give this a go. I think I've only ever actually tried their masks, I've not just tried their moisturisers or skincare. So this is a 5ml sample, and say it's in this cutest little pot, and it looks like it does have a decent amount of product in there as well. There's no scent to it, which is good because I am quite sensitive to smells, so I always appreciate an unscented moisturiser. This says to apply evenly to clean face and neck morning and night as part of your usual skincare regime. So I don't know what its actual claims are, but it says Omega Rich Moisturiser. So I need to look into what Omega Rich means, but it should be pretty good, and I do definitely need a strong moisturiser because I do get dry skin, especially this time of year, so hopefully it can combat that. And given the size of it, hopefully I can get a good few uses out of it to see whether I like it or not. So the full size of this is 50ml for £42, and this is a 5ml sample, so this is worth £4.20. So even just this one product alone is worth just more than what I've paid for all 5 products. So I've totaled up that all 5 samples do only come to £9. I say only, I've had, I think even last month I did have a decent amount of value, over £20 I think it was. So £9 is probably one of the lowest I've had as of late, but still it is more than double of what I've paid for the products, and these are things that I genuinely do want to try. Especially the Barry M skincare, because if I like this then I would definitely be tempted to purchase something from their skincare line just full price, because it is pretty reasonable at £8. So that is it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. Thanks.